Hello, welcome to Sound and Furry Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of Sleepers and Ties by Gail Kirkpatrick. This is a Canadian fiction, just kind of a contemporary fiction from Now or Never Publishing. It came out in 2024. I received this book from the publisher in exchange for a fair review, so thank you very much for that. A well-written, character-driven Canadian novel, Sleepers and Ties is about returning to your roots and unpacking your issues. And I do not mean roots as in the Canadian store. That was an awful joke, and I apologize. What is this book about? Grieving museum curator Margaret returns to her childhood home to leave behind her sister Shirley's ashes and attend the final reading of her will. Unbeknownst to Margaret, Shirley has left her $8 million and a letter asking Margaret to return to its former glory, an abandoned railway line. A fanciful notion, everyone tells her, with no real legal binding. Embark on an adventure that will test more than just an executive's duty and loyalty to her sister's legacy, Margaret is forced to make decisions now for the future that will challenge and forever change a landscape, her career, her marriage, her friendships, and her very own legacy. I will be completely honest here. I thought this was a well-written, interesting short novel, but I couldn't connect with the main character. This might have been because of her age, in that she's at a different stage of life than I am. She's an empty nester, and there are lots of references to things from her youth that I suppose my stepmom, who is in her 50s, with a 20-year-old son, kind of like the character in this book, would relate to. But for me, I was kind of like, I don't know, it either went over my head or it meant absolutely nothing to me, because I had no nostalgia from it. Because there's a lot of kind of people older than me. I'm just gonna say older people. I don't mean like old people. I just mean they're older than me. Older people talking in this book. I often felt like I was at like a dinner party with my parents and I was the only one there my age. And it's not like I can't talk to people that are older than me. It's just like they were all kind of reminiscing about things that I kind of felt left out about. So yeah. Now, this is not a bad thing. I think this book will really resonate for people in that age or older who went through kind of that stage of their lives. But for me, I was just like, I can't even imagine kind of 15 years from now. I don't really want to. So that might be why I had kind of a disconnect. Likewise, the character kind of does stuff that I don't really understand. It would be a very rare occurrence for me, for example, to not have my phone on my person. So there is a part where she locks her keys in the car, and neither she nor the person she's with, you know, of a similar age to her, seems to have a phone to call CAA or whatever. It's not unbelievable. Obviously, it makes sense. This happens to people. But that plot point felt a bit forced to me, as it seemed odd that neither of them would have a phone with them. There's also a lot of landline phone use in this book, which I found kind of funny. Maybe it's my area, but I only know one household that has a landline. I did think the small mystery of the story was well executed. It unraveled in a way that was more melancholy than revelatory, which suited the tone of the novel. The way Margaret uses this dying wish of her sister's to fuel the midlife crisis of her own made sense, and also helped her work through some of her issues. In truth, it was a nice story, a gentle one about people that felt realistic. I couldn't relate to any of them really, and I found some of the scenes drag a little bit. As I mentioned, it felt like I was at a party where I was the only one my age. But overall, I really enjoyed the novel though. It was very Canadian, which I liked as well. One thing that did disappoint me about the book was that there wasn't a single damn train in the whole book. I was drawn to the story because I thought it was going to be about a woman, you know, restoring a train line, and there would be some trains in the book. Nope, there's no trains at all. There are more discussions about birds than trains. Birds are all well and good, but give me locomotives, you know. I'm a toddler at heart, I guess. I love trains. I've never been on a real train, though. I mean, I've been on trains in Europe, but I've never done like a scenic train trip. I've never been on the Via Rail. Actually, no, I was on the Via Rail once, but it was a very short trip. It was not like a long, long train ride. We were going to go from Italy to Switzerland at the end of April, but that fell through. Oh, I was so sad because that would have been so cool. Anyway, maybe I'll find another train to ride upon. Also, did you hear that they are bringing back the final season of Snowpiercer? Speaking of trains, I'm so excited. I love Snowpiercer so much. Of all the TV shows in all the world, I really like Snowpiercer. Anyway, if you like gentle, calm books about Canada, family, and women inheriting money from deceased siblings and are told to resurrect train lines, you should check this book out. I'm going to recommend it to my stepmom. I think she would really, really like it. And my stepmom is, as I said, in her 50s with a 20-year-old child. So, so perfect market for that book. I don't think I'm the target market for this, but it's okay. You don't have to be the target market for everything. YA is not the target market for me either. So That's fine. Thank you again to the publisher for the book. I really, really appreciated it. Thank you so much.